change. Okay, so that is the meaning of equivalent. If they have the same graph, no matter what happens, they are equivalent. Okay, so we will try to investigate what happens to this one here. Why do we have different answers? Okay. Now, I already found it now, because here this is supposed to be negative. Okay, so we have now the same answers. So the table of values, if you are just able to write it correctly, class, so the table of values would never change, as well as the what? As well as the graph. That is the meaning of equivalent. Okay. Now we will apply now to the meat of the lesson. We will apply this understanding to the meat of the lesson. Let's say, for example, here. What if we have that? Now, let us just presume that you do not know how to do this. You do not know how to do the factoring, because this is factoring. Okay. But the question is what? The question is finding the equivalent. Oh, so what do we do? The equivalent here, there is no name in this equivalent. In this expression, there is no name. So we'll just put it there because there is no name. But if there's a name, then we'll put the name. Here, the expression is x to the fourth minus 81. So this red line is the graph of x to the fourth minus 81. All right? Now, we'll try to check which of them is equivalent. Okay, so we will try. We will choose A. We'll just a random letter. Just x plus 3 times x minus 3. You see? A, aside from different color, but of course the color class will not matter. A does not trace the red line. A does not trace the graph of the question. Okay? A does not trace the graph of the question. So, A is not the answer. What if we will choose B? What if we will choose B? Okay, so what we have? X plus 3, okay? Then times x minus 3. So x plus 3, x minus 3. I hope we are doing it right. Okay. So it is not B. What if we will choose maybe D? Okay, maybe D. We will try D. So that would be x squared. That is why, class, you must practice how to type. Okay, times x squared minus 9. Oh, it's not yet the answer. For sure, it is letter C. Let us try. Let us try letter C. Okay, so we have x plus 3 times x minus 3 times x squared plus 9. Oh, you try to remove this choices. Letter C, trace the graph of the question. Letter C, trace the graph of the question. That is the answer. All right? So simple as that. Simple as that. If you have learned, if you have known the meaning of equivalent, you're good to go. For sure, you will get an A in the EOC. Okay? You will get an A in the EOC. All right. Now, my challenge to you, class, is to get 100. Okay? All right. Now, let us apply. Okay, another question. What if the question is like this? Okay. What if the question is like, what is 3y minus 4y plus 6 minus 6y over 2y plus 3? Mr. G, you are not teaching me on how to do this. But I told you that when you are subtracting, you are thinking of equivalent, because equivalent extends to the meaning of subtraction. All right, that is equivalent. Okay, so we'll try. Now, take note, class, if things like this, your y, okay, if things like this, the Desmos cannot read your y. Possibly you can write it x. Okay, so I advise you, but maybe you can discover. I do not know. You try to discover it. You try to also to explore Desmos. So you have, instead of y, that is 3x over 4x plus 6 minus 6x over 2x plus 3. Okay, now this is the question. All right, this is the question. Now the question is asking us the difference when what will happen. What is the equivalent when we are going to subtract these two expressions? The question, class, is already the answer. Okay, so the question is already the answer. Once you have learned, once you have identified the question, that is already the answer, because the answer is pretty much related to the question. Okay, do you believe me? The answer is pretty much related to the question. They are cousins. Okay, all right. So here, this is the question. That is already the answer. Okay, now all we just have to do is only to look for the equivalent of our answer. Okay, look for the equivalent of our answer, because this is already our answer. Okay, look for the equivalent of the answer. Now we will try just a random letter. Okay, we'll try to choose letter A. Negative 3x instead of y, I'm changing it to x. Okay, you can have that. 4x plus 6. Oh, it's different. What if we will choose B? Okay, 9. Oh, all right. So if you choose whether this negative, either you can write it here or on this side or on the at the bottom. It's just the same. So here the graph is the same. B is the answer. B is the answer. Okay. Now another. What if we have this question? Oh, simplest form. We are simplifying. Simplifying, reducing. They are the same. Okay. Simplifying, reducing. They are the same. What is the question? If you know how to read the question, you are good to go. So the question is x squared plus 6x minus 16 divided by x squared plus 5x minus 24. This is the question. That is already the answer. Okay, the question is already the answer. Okay, now all we just have to do is to locate what is the equivalent of this, of our answer, because our answer is pretty much different from the choices. All right, okay, it just so happens that the way we write our answer is different from the way the choices is given. Okay, so we'll try to check. Let us say, okay, B. What if B? X plus 4, okay, divided by x plus 6. It's different. What if we go back to A? Maybe it is the answer. Okay, you'll try to go back to A. That is x minus 4 over x minus 6. Not the answer. Maybe C. We'll try to choose C. So x minus 2, then x minus 3. They have the same graph. The graph of letter C traces the line of the question. So that is the answer. Okay? Another thing. What happened if the question is like this? What happened if the question is like this? What is the difference of the function f of x equals 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 and g of x equals 2x plus 1? I think you learned this in your elementary of the meaning of difference. When we say difference, that is minus. That is subtraction. All right? Okay. Now, take note. Take note. The question here has a name. All right? So we have the first function. The name of the function is f of x. And the second function is g of x. Okay? So we will write this down. F of x equals 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. That is f of x. But we have two functions. The second function is here. What is the second function? G of x equals 2x plus 1. That is the second function. All right. Now you would ask me, Sergi, that is already the question. Is that not the answer? Okay. It is not yet the complete question, because the question is the difference, okay? The difference of f of x with this one, with this equivalent, and the difference of g of x with this equivalent, okay? What are we gonna do? Complete now the question. Difference, subtract, all right? Okay, so how do we subtract it? Okay, because it has the name, class, because its function here has the name, so it is now easier for us to complete the question. Okay, because we are asked to find the difference. So you say the first function, which is f of x, is going to be subtracted. Is going to be subtracted by what? By g of x. Yeah, we'll try to hide this original question, and this is now the difference, and this is now the difference. This graph now is now the difference of these two functions. You are just subtracting. Okay, you are just subtracting. Now, Mr. G, I did not see the expression there. Okay, I did not see the expression there. The question, all right. For letter A, how should I know that A is the answer? Okay, remember that here, this graph here, this graph is the graph of our answer. So this is already our answer. Now we will just try to look at the equivalent. Okay, so you write it down here. 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. Oh, that A does not trace the line of our answer. Okay, that A does not trace the line of our answer. Now we will try. We'll try to use B. Okay, how would I know, Mr. G, that, oh, you look, the graph here is a little bit different. Okay, but they look like the same, but a little bit different. Okay, let us see. How are we gonna be sure that this is really the answer? So what we're gonna do is to use our skills of reading the graph. Okay, if you know how to read graphs, you are good to go. Okay, now, since I'm only one here talking, so I will just ask question and I will also answer. Okay, all right, now here. We need to locate maybe two or three, okay? 2 or 3 points on the graph. Okay, now, the question is, the thing here is, locate the point that is very obvious. That is very obvious to estimate the x value and the y value. All right, now here I purposely put this point here. This point here. This point is the point of the graph. Another point and another point. Okay. There are so many points, as I've told, as if you learn, if you have what is this? If you have if you have watched my previous video, this red line here has actually so many points. It has an infinite number of points. Okay, so now this time we will just pick up some, and the points that we're picking up are those obvious points that we can really say, oh, that is really the coordinate. So if we try to use this point, okay, this point here, we say that this point is 2 units. This is the y value here, and this is this is the y-axis here, and this is the x-axis, right? Okay, so this point is 2 units to the left of the y-axis. This is the y-axis. To the left side of the y-axis, it is 2 units. Therefore, the x value is negative 2. All right? Now, what is the y value? I know you are really good at this, but because I'm the only person here, so I will answer the question. So how far is this point from the x-axis? So this is the x-axis. You go down, that is negative. Okay? You go down, that is negative, and it is obvious that it is 2 units, right? So it is 2 units from the x-axis. Therefore, the point here is what? Is 2. Negative. Oh. So see, this green line is this point. What else? Okay, what else? What if this one, Mr. G? Okay, negative 1. The x value is negative 1. The y value is negative 5. Okay, so you'll try negative 1, negative 5. Look at this. What about this, Mr. G? I'm still not convinced that that is the answer. So we have what is that? The x value is 0. And how far is this point from the x-axis? That is 4. Below, that's negative. So the x is 0, and the y value is negative 4. Oh, you notice these 3 points hits our line. It's enough for me. It's enough. B is the answer. Right? B is the answer. Okay. Now, what if we will try to check Mr. G? What if we will try to check letter C? Okay. What if we will have letter C? What if we will use letter C? This is table of values, all right? Now, it is hardly seen here. Unless, okay, it is hardly seen here. It is hardly seen, for sure. It is hardly seen. Okay. All right. What are we going to do? Look at now the table. You look at the table here. What is that? Okay. The table here. This is the table. This is the table of f of our answer. F of x minus g of x. This is the table. All right. Now here, the x value here is negative 10. Let us try to check if the answer, if the y value is 166 to our table. We do not have negative 10 here. So we'll just change negative 10. Oh, it's right here. What else? We have 20. Oh, it is right here. We have negative 30. The same. And so on and so forth. Okay. Maybe 5.6 is different. Ah, see. So for sure, B and C is the answer. Okay. All right. Now, I think we just have like, one question left. One question left. This question is a little bit different. It's a little bit twisted. Okay. After this one class, I'm gonna take my rest. Okay. I'm gonna rest. All right. Now here. All right. This question is a little bit different. Why? I will read. What value must be substituted for k so that x plus 4 over x squared plus 7x plus k can be reduced to 1 over x plus 3? Oh, that is reducing. That is reducing. Okay. Now we are not asked about the equivalent. We are not asked about the equivalent, but we are asked to find one part. We are asked to find one part of the question that can make the question under reduced form equal. All right. Okay. So when we say reduced, that means they are equivalent, only stated in different way. All right. They are equivalent, only stated in different way. But anyway, when we try to go on, I will try to tell you what is the difference between reduced form and complex form, simple form, simplified form, and complex. I will, but for now, we stick to the equivalent. Okay. So now we are looking for here for the value of k. So meaning, well, let us understand the question. The question is about k, meaning that these choices here are the values of k. So these numbers here will not substitute your x. It should substitute your k. You replace your k with these numbers because that is the question. That is the requirement of the question. What is the value of k? Not the value of x. And you are given the choices. So common sense, the choices refers to k. Okay? So we have two choices here. So we will write down the question. We will write down the question. Okay. So we have the first one is x plus 4 divided by x squared. Notice if I am dividing, I will put a parenthesis here. Okay. So take note of that. Plus 7x plus k. All right. We do not have the graph. Plus k. Okay, next question. The next part, we have the reduced form is 1 over x plus 3. Mr. J, you're not teaching us how to reduce. You're not teaching us how to simplify. I know you learned that in your math 2 and math 1. Okay. All right. So either you can do it manually or you can do it this way. It's okay. It's not an issue. Okay. Now this time here, we now have, this is now the graph of reduced form. And you know the meaning of reduced. That is the extension of the word equivalent. Okay. So now I will get these numbers here. I will get these numbers and put it here to our k. And you decide what's going to be the answer. Okay. What's going to be the answer? You might solve it on your own. Pause the video class, solve it on your own, and maybe you can leave a comment about the answer. Okay. When I post this one. All right. So here, so the answer here for A, let us say, if we'll choose A, 3, oh, it's different. If we will choose B, 4, it's still different. Maybe this one, the third attempt. That is the answer. Okay. That is the answer. All right. So I hope you have learned something, and I hope you would be ready to answer the exercises of this module, as well as the what is this? The a little quiz. Okay, just a little quiz. All right. So I hope you have enjoyed the video, and see you soon. Okay. Thank you.